Second Cup, brought to you by the Nickel Plate. Sit, sip, savor, and shop.
All right. Hey, everyone. Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Thursday morning.
Second Cup on the road again.
Here we are live inside Stanley Makowski Elementary School. Today is a very cool day because we get to take the show on the road, giving you an insight into the lives of students here in Western New York, in Buffalo in particular, for our If You Give a Child a Book campaign. Why is this so important? It turns out that there are many, many children in our community who don't have the luxury of being able to afford books. And so with your help today and every day, we will be able to put books in the hands of children in Buffalo who are less fortunate perhaps than the rest of us.
So the awesome thing about the If You Give a Child a Book campaign is that our company ran it a few months ago, okay? And then so many people from our station donated, and we have this great foundation that we work with. It's a Scripps Howard Foundation. And so then they are able to match donations. It's an awesome thing. And then basically the idea is get these books to the kids. And the cool thing is when they do it, they get to like come in and check out the books. Like you're going to a library, but you literally are in the library, and then you take your book home and that book belongs to you, and they get to pick which one they want. And I think that's like so empowering to be able to do that. It's so important.
Okay, so here's the information that you need as you're getting out the door this morning. Number one, you can go to wkbw.com/giveabook. And I've included a link on my Facebook page as well. So if you are waking up, you're seeing me in your feed, wkbw.com/giveabook. Any donation goes a long way, but the reality is $12 will help buy 3 books for a student here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
The other thing is we want to hear from you. What is your favorite book to read?
Or what was your favorite book growing up? Because someone asked Ed and I that the other day. And so we both like came up with what our favorite book was when we were growing up.
What's yours?
Well, when I was really little, it was this book called The Pokey Little Puppy.
Oh, I know. You love that book.
I love that book. And my mom was like, this is the longest book ever. And so I'm like, I'd always be like, let's do The Pokey Little Puppy. And then as I got older, I was obsessed with this book, The Giver.
A Caldecott Medal winner.
Yeah, Lois Lowry. And my mom actually met her. My mom was a librarian. I think I've mentioned this before. And she met her one time at a convention and she signed a copy for me. This is not that.
Love that.
Yeah.
So my favorite book growing up was Angus and the Ducks.
Oh my God. Yep. I remember you talking about that.
And it's like a hardcover. It's horizontal. There's like a Scotty dog who chases all the ducks.
That's Angus.
Yeah, that's Angus.
That Angus.
And my dad used to read Angus and the Ducks to me, and he'd always imitate the ducks. Quack, 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 quack. They'd scamper away. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
The Pokey Little Puppy was about the puppy who was slow, and then he would eat everybody else's dinner.
Oh, no.
Like, I was like, I can relate to this. Yes. Sounds great.
But you know what else? We have some really cool people here with us this morning as well. We have, and this is going to be super basic, and so you're just going to have to roll with the flow here.
Roll with us today because we're having one issue with one of our cameras. For some reason, it just doesn't want to connect. But don't worry, we've got 2 others. We come prepared.
Okay, so let's bring in our friends, Arthur and Amina.
Okay.
So how about you start with Arthur? Tell me about
Let me
Arthur.
Go ahead and set up
Here, I'm going to bring you in.
Arthur and myself. Oh, okay, fantastic. Hi, Arthur.
Hi.
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good.
So tell everybody your name and how old you are and what grade you're in.
My name is Arthur, and I'm in 4th grade.
Arthur's in 4th grade, and you're here today because we're talking a lot about reading. And I hear you are a big reader.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. Arthur, you have got to tell everybody your favorite book and why.
The Bible, because I'm Christian.
I love that.
His favorite book is the Bible. And I said, that's wonderful. And I said, do you read it often? He said, yes. And who do you read it with? What is it like when you get to read that with your dad? Why is that so special?
It's cool.
It is cool. It's a nice time for you guys to connect, right? So why is reading such an important thing for people?
Arthur, use your outdoor voice. Do you have an outdoor voice?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear your outdoor voice.
Say, good morning, Buffalo.
Good morning, Buffalo.
Go.
So, Arthur, tell me why reading is such an important thing for you. Why do you think it's so important that people read?
Can update your brain.
You can update your brain. I love that. All right, Arthur and I are going to keep chatting over here while Ed introduces you to our next guest. You might remember her if you were here last year.
So let me introduce you. I'm going to take you out now, Catherine Jane. Here's Amina. Amina, say, what's up? All right, so let's talk, Amina. You like to read as well, don't you? Okay, tell me what you like to read, Amina.
I like to read Babysitter's Club.
Babysitter's Club. Isn't that a show also? It might have been. Maybe I'm just dating myself.
You're aging yourself.
I think I'm a little old, Amina. How old do you think I am? Be nice. Take a wild guess.
30.
Oh, yes, my girl. Give me knuckles, Amina.
Amina, let's try it again. Ed, keep looking at Amina.
How old do you think I really am? Take a wild guess.
37.
37 is right. Is that old to you or is that young? Don't look at Katie. Pretend she's not here. Is that old or young? Oh, no! Amina, you like reading the Babysitter's Club. Tell me why you like reading the Babysitter's Club.
Because it's a long book.
What does that mean, a long book? Is it a chapter book? Is it really interesting?
It's a chapter book,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to keep getting a new book every time you finish.
I love that because it's long enough where you can like hold it in your hand. You can really get into it. And like, what feeling do you get when you start to feel joy, or do you feel like something different?
Joy.
Tell me why you feel joy.
Because I could learn more words
Mhm.
and get better at reading.
Yes, my girl.
So Joyce is saying, Amina, just speak, yell out a little bit. They're just having a hard time hearing everybody.
Here, maybe I'll bring the computer a little closer.
A question, Amina, for you, my friend. Jeanette wants to know, who's your favorite Babysitter's Club character? It's hard. There's a lot of them. I'm trying to remember all their names too, because I know I read the books a long time ago.
She's really old.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
Is it too hard to pick? Sometimes it's too hard to pick one.
Kelsey says she loves your hair, Amina.
Thank you.
Okay, tell me about your hair. Tell us everything about it because it's so beautiful.
I dyed my real hair pink.
And
I dyed it pink because my favorite color is pink.
yes, Queen, I love that.
That looks really cute. I'm gonna bring my buddy Arthur in here. We decided we were gonna talk a little bit, Arthur, and maybe Amina, you guys can talk about it too. So remember, we just have to speak really loudly. So I'm gonna ask both of you, but I'm gonna have Arthur answer first. Arthur, why do you like coming to the library so much? We were talking about the library before. Why do you like coming to the library?
Because we get to read.
You get to read. And so let's say you come into the library right now. What kind of books do you find yourself going to look at? Like what kind of books are you drawn to?
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes? What is it about tornadoes?
Extreme.
Extreme. Okay, Amina, I got to ask you the same thing. Like, let's say you walk
Extreme.
Let's say you walk through the doors of this library and pick out any kind of book. What kind of book would you be looking for? Any kind of book. What kind of book would you be looking for?
Well, you like chapter books, so longer books, I assume, right? And is there like, okay, outside of the Babysitter's Club, is there something that you love to read? Like, is there an adventure book, or is it like a romantic novel, or do you like mystery?
Yes.
Or science fiction?
There's so many.
Oh, me too. I love trying to solve the crime. Is that?
Me too. I love a good chapter that takes me to, what kind of leaves you hanging, and then you have to go to like what happened next. Those are some of my favorites. Now, you said you read with your dad a lot. Do you get to come with your class to the library? What kind of stuff do you guys do when you get here? I know you read, but what do? Do you take any books home, and how do you spend your time here? Reading cool books, absolutely. I am all about that.
Amina, what is the rule here? Are you allowed to take out more than one book, or do you take out just one at a time?
You could take out one or two.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes.
And okay, so I think we're going to switch over to the other computer here. If John, is that accurate? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to switch you over here. There's John. I'm going to take me out. I'm going to take Amina. There's John. I'm going to take me out. Here, perfect. I'm glad we're back in action
So
here.
this is the setup that we had initially planned for. It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Good morning. Glad you're all here. Okay, so this is the most beautiful library I've seen in a school, and they are so lucky to have this kind of amenity here.
Yeah.
And again, you can help put books in the hands of children here at Stanley Makowski Elementary School. It's Public School 99. Go to wkbw.com/giveabook. Again, any donation is amazing, but $12 will help put 3 books in the hands of a child here. Every child will get a certain number of books based on the donations that come in, which is super cool. And Amina, maybe what you can tell me, and this is I want you to put on your most very thoughtful, well-educated, because we know that you are here at Stanley Makowski. Tell me why somebody should donate $12 to this campaign so that you can have 3 books in your hand. Want to make sure that you have that opportunity.
Someone should donate $12 because it can help kids read better and learn more words that they didn't learn.
And have you learned a lot of words?
Face when you asked her that. Look at her. She's reaching deep for this one.
I don't remember.
Was it in a Babysitter's Club book?
Yes.
Sometimes it's all about the context clues
Yeah.
too, when it's those bigger words. But it was funny because something came to your mind. I could see it, and you were like, "I have something right back here that I'm trying to think of."
Okay, well, you put your thinking cap on. Think of the hardest word you've had to read, and then I'm going to come back to you.
So
okay?
while she's doing that, I want to pull up some of the comments, and we're going to ask you. Remember, we said we're going to ask you that same question that we just asked Amina. But first, I'm going to read what some of the people who are watching right now saying. Barbara says, "I liked getting to know my librarians and have them help me pick out new books."
Yes.
I always think that's great when the librarian gets to know you and they know, like, this is Ed's style of reading. This is something Katie would like to read. Arthur would probably really like this book about tornadoes, so I love stuff like that. Somebody else mentioned, let's see here. Kenneth was laughing, saying, us two in the library trying to get the kids to be loud.
I know.
They're being so polite
you guys,
because they
do you
are
guys
in the library.
ever shout in the library?
No, you don't shout.
Arthur? Okay, can we do this right now? This is your opportunity to be super loud in the library because there's no one here. There's no one paying attention.
My mother, the librarian at home, is like, "Oh no."
So here's what I want you guys to do. On the count of 3, I want you to shout, "Good morning, Buffalo." Okay? And then we'll cheer after that. Ready?
Okay.
Should we do a practice run? Okay, I'm going to start with you, Arthur. On the count of 3, let's hear you shout, "Good morning, Buffalo." 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Buffalo.
Yes, my man.
Shout.
Amina, let's hear your outdoor voice. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Buffalo.
Okay, let's do it all together. Ready? On the count of 3, we're all going to shout, "Good morning, Buffalo." Ready?
Yep.
The loud as we can be, because I love being loud.
We
Arthur,
know.
do you like being loud? Amina? Katie likes to be very petite and very demure. I like to be loud. All right, ready? Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Buffalo.
Okay, cool. I love it.
That'll wake you guys up if you're sitting there watching this. Okay,
Jeff Baker
so
says Ed breaking the rules. Nice.
Caitlin had a question for Arthur because I think you mentioned I know you mentioned liking tornadoes. So she wants to know, have you ever heard of the I Survived series? So that would be a different kind of books, maybe about people talking about, I survived a tornado, I survived a hurricane. Have you ever heard of those? Those might be some good ones for you to check out. So that might be a good kind of line of books for you to check out. And we wanted to ask you the same thing because I know when Amina was talking, I said you could think of your answer too. Because what we're asking people today, donate a little bit of money so we get books in the hands of kids. So Arthur, being a kid right now, why do you think it's so important people would donate so other kids are able to have a book to read? Why is that so important?
Because, so they can get smarter.
So they can be smarter.
Yes,
Absolutely.
love that. I'm just looking at the comments here. Michelle says that one of her best friends is a children's book author, Lois Mansky, which is pretty cool. And then Julie says, I look at so many different books. Like somebody else wrote that they
Cindy's comment, because that is you and me, Ed. Every time Ed and I, because he'll be going on vacation, I'll say, "What are you going to read?"
Right.
I do the same thing. There's nothing better than reading outside
Well,
by a pool, by a
and
beach.
What was I just telling you? Katie likes spooky books during this time of year.
I do. I love a good mystery. Do you like a spooky mystery around Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay with those kind of books? Some people think they're a little scary, but
Are you scared, Amina?
I like
No.
a good Halloween book. Do you?
Yes.
Okay, what creeps you out? What's like the spookiest thing that you're okay with reading?
Everything.
Everything. Is there something like, ooh, spiders, give me the creeps?
Yes.
You don't like spiders?
No.
What about ghosts? You don't
I
care?
read about ghosts.
You do? Tell me what you've read.
About like the White House.
The ghosts that live in the White
Was
House.
that an actual book that you read? Ooh, that sounds very.
That could
spooky.
be very, very
Yeah.
interesting to read.
So is that the kind? Do you like to do that, Arthur? Like when you come in, and it's a time of year. Do you like to take out because I see over there, it looks like there's a lot of books. I see the tablecloth has leaves on it. What those look like? They're a bunch of fall books. So do we put seasonal books over there, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like to pick up those kind of books when you come into the library? You like to check those ones out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arthur's dad is here too. Arthur's dad, why don't you come on in here for a second?
Good morning, Arthur's
He's shaking
dad.
his head because he doesn't want to come in here. He just wanted to be an audience member. But you know what? As Peter says, and this is right, let's highlight the parents for raising these great kids. So Arthur's dad, good morning to you. So glad you're with us. Tell
Maybe
us what your name is.
I was going to say, yeah, instead of calling you Arthur's dad, sir, what is your name?
I'm Arthur Bobo Jr.
Ah, so
The junior for me. I'm Arthur Bobo.
I love that.
Arthur and Arthur. I'm so glad. That's so nice that you guys share a name. How special.
Arthur,
It is special.
talk to me. Your son likes to read the Bible. That is so special. And I'm sure that you instilled that love of not only reading, but really connecting with faith as well. Why is that so important?
It is so important these days because it's one of the foundation of kids' life. It's better that you start training them the best way, and that will teach them moral, and that will teach them some respect for people and everybody.
And
so,
Arthur, maybe what you can do is come right behind your
Yes, slide right in
son
here.
so that we can actually see you.
Let me ask you too. So we've got someone here who loves to read. What kind of stuff does he like to read? And then what do you see in him when he's reading? Like, how do you see that changing him?
oh yeah, he loves reading because when he reading, he get excited.
Yeah.
Especially the media or some new words. He asks me, what this word mean. He writes it down, and I try to define it for him and make sure that he understands what it means.
So how important is that lesson and watching him grow and watching him learn, the importance of having that book in his hand as, outside of the Bible, it's an adventure book, a mystery, whatever it may be. How important is having that book physically in his hand to explore and unlock new worlds?
Yeah, it's very important because when he opens the book, sometimes when I open a book, I'll put my hands in, and he will say, "No, Daddy, don't do that," But it is very important for kids to really learn how to read because open their minds to different words, open their minds to different things.
Mm-hmm.
So physically seeing the book in his hand, reading, make him to feel, very excited.
Yeah, these are ways we experience things that we might not be able to actually go experience.
Right.
All right, my mom had a question for you guys, the Arthurs. Have you ever read any of the Arthur books?
Ooh, Arthur the Aardvark?
King Arthur.
Well, King Arthur, even
Arthur.
better.
Mom, he thought of even another character. Yeah, there are a lot of characters in books named Arthur. What kind of stuff do you find him liking to read the most?
I see him read different kind of book because he and his aunt go to the library and take some books, and and they read different kinds of books, especially
You
not only
mentioned
the Bible.
Oh, he mentioned tornadoes too.
Yeah, he loves tornado because he's seeing some of those things on how they call it, TikTok, and how it been made. Even he asks that we go to the stove and buy something so he can make it himself, so
I love
he can
that.
see how it look like. But he loved different things.
Arthur,
actually.
I wonder, the purpose of us being here today is to try and get our community, our cuppies as we call them,
All right.
to contribute to our campaign called if you give a child a book. And it is super important to help these children explore the joy of reading. So if you could tell the parents out there in our little community here, our Cutby community, what would you tell them about how important it is to contribute to this kind of a campaign to just might not be able to afford them?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's very important because I'm from Africa,
Ah.
from Africa, West Africa, Liberia, and to get a book is very difficult to read. And when I see, sometimes we put books together and send it back home for for kids as well, support kids back home. So it's very important because when we were growing up, it's very hard for us to get a book.
Wow.
The teachers will write every lesson on the board, and we write it in our copybooks too. But to get a book, to go to the library to take a book, it's very difficult. So it's important. It's very important that we help, because these things open the minds of the kids and make the kids to understand a lot of different things of this world. So it's very important that we do that.
What is it like raising a child today? Ed and I don't have children. So what is it like raising a kid today? We talk all the time with the parents here about screen time, about television, so what is it like raising a kid today and making sure you instill that love of reading?
Yeah, it is very difficult because most of the time they lock in on their computer, on their stuff. And so you have to make time for them. Like I always tell my son, maybe you take 15 minutes to go on your phone. I'm not going to stop. I don't stop him from doing it, but I just tell him there should be a time break, offer to, I just give him the free will to try to notice that he doesn't like too much television, but he likes too much phone, TikTok,
Yeah,
and
right.
games and other stuff. So I make him understand that's important, but please, let's read at this time.
And so, tell us what other books that you enjoy reading, because obviously there are many people out there who are watching this morning. If there's one thing in particular that you could tell somebody in our little video community who are watching right now, why would you think that this is important for them to help other students in your school get books? What would you tell these people?
I would tell them to donate because other kids can learn to read, like the little kids, and the older kids can get like older books for them to read so they could get to a higher level of reading.
That is so eloquent and so well said. When do you think your love of reading started?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten? And what was your favorite book then?
I don't know.
Okay, but you loved reading in kindergarten. Did you like making up stories on your own, or did you like reading them?
I like reading them.
Okay, cool. And so when did you learn to start to read?
Almost first grade.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's a skill that stays
Yeah.
with you from the very foundation of your educational career.
You know what she's saying too makes me want to ask you also, again, as a parent, what is it like when, they're so little, right? And they're starting to look at these books. What is it like when you're watching them then start to make these connections? Because you're saying, he starts to spell out the words. He wants to know what they mean. Like, how does it make you feel as a parent when you're watching them really start to put two and two together and make those connections?
Yeah, it's very interesting because, you try that everything that you do is coming to light. When you see them trying to read and making that connection on the book, makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That at least you are training them in the right way. At least they are trying to learn by themselves, at this little age. So
Thank you
important
for saying that, because it
Absolutely.
is so important to hear from a parent who's, really going above and beyond to make sure that their children has the best life, their child has the best future, and reading really sets that tone.
It also shows you how just reading and books, it's a simple thing that we can do, right? But it opens you up.
Yeah.
It opens your mind up to so many things.
So again, the link is here in your comments, wkbw.com/giveabook. Okay, on the count of three, I want everyone to yell, "Have a great day." Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Have a great day.
See you tomorrow for Friday.